Dylan from Dodson Watches here, and this evening I'm going to narrate a video I did building this yellow GMT watch. My daughter calls it the breakfast watch because of its egg yolk yellow dial. I like it because it's a GMT, the NH34 from Seiko, so that's why it has the 24-hour markings around the bezel. I like to use it as like a 24-hour clock along with my regular time, and it's just aesthetically pleasing to have that fourth hand, something a little different than the regular NH35 movement that I usually do. That being said, let's get started and I'll narrate the build and what I'm doing throughout. So NH34 Seiko's GMT movement. To start with the NH34, we use the GMT hand. It goes on first instead of the hour hand. I always like to use my stick with the rod code to kind of position it on there. And here you'll see I'm using two pressers, and that's because I did not have the proper GMT hand press. So I kind of had to do my best and adapt something different here. I press evenly at all points of contact as to not bend the hand, and it has to go on perfectly to clear the hour markers. There's no room for error here. Also because this is a 4-hand stack, so everything's got to be very precise like all of watch building. So I'm going to go ahead and move the GMT hand out of the way and make sure my time is set correctly and do my hour marker. Like in other watches, we're going to line it up with the 12 o'clock and press it on. Make sure it's pressed all the way down onto the pinion where it's supposed to be, because we need room for our minute hand. Every time I put a hand on, I like to run it around, make sure everything's working properly, make sure the hands aren't interfering with each other. And polish it. You know, if it came from a factory, it wouldn't have any smudges, so I want mine to be as close to factory quality as possible. Alright, time for the minute hand. We apply it on the same as the hour hand. What's important about this hand is that it's right on top of the hour hand. It's directly to 12 o'clock hour marker. You'll see why that's important here in a second. Up again, make sure everything's parallel. Make sure the hands are not going to interfere with each other. Now this check that we're about to do, this is very important. We want to make sure that, look, there at 3 o'clock, that everything's 90 degrees. There, that it's perfectly 180 and then back again at 90, and that they both line up directly at 12 o'clock. Last is the second hand. I used to have so much trouble with this. I thought this was the hardest thing in watch building. It's actually really simple now. Once I learned to get the watch parallel with my eyes at eye level and to press with a flat hand push, I have absolutely no trouble with this. And that was probably, didn't take much cutting because I can do the second hand pretty well now. And I used a red tip there, something a little different. So that's not the second hand that came with this set, but I wanted something a little different, and I really liked the way that kind of turned out, just adding a little bit more color in there. Same with, like, you know, using a black GMT hand. And one last polish before we case this guy up. Yeah, that red tip second hand kind of makes it. This is, you know, we've done this once, but you can never do it too many times. Make sure everything's just working correctly. And yeah, now we're going to pull our temporary crown stem. All movements, they come with this. It's because the stem that's supplied is usually very long, depending on your case size. It doesn't fit inside the shipping. Remove our temporary crown stem. We're going to flip it back over now. And we're going to get the crown stem that comes with the movement now. And you would measure and cut it down. Luckily, in this case, I had already used it, and I had a green dial in there and decided to switch over. So I already had a crown stem cut. So that saved me about half an hour in this particular build. Yeah, we get to jump right to putting our stem and crown in. And screwing it down. Perfect size. You know, it's very important. I didn't cover it earlier, but clean the inside of that crystal. It's got to be absolutely spotless, no fingerprints. Same with the back. This is an exhibition case back, so you can see the movement. There's also an O-ring in there that is lubricated, you know, using something like this. And then placed, you know, it'll come with the case usually, and that's what makes it waterproof. Very important. And now to get the bracelet on there. This used to be the absolute worst part for me. It would take an hour sometimes to get those damn spring pins to work correctly and to press and get onto the case. But now I've bought this. It was about $150, worth every penny. And you can buy these for $10, but there's a difference. This is hardened steel. I love these. Lifesaver. All right, anyway, there's our finished breakfast watch. Thanks, Amelia, for such a great name. As you'll notice, it's a brushed bracelet, brushed case. It's more of a tool watch, so it's a little tougher. Still simple, elegant. You know, this one is a true custom, a true Dodson Custom watch. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and follow for more watch content. Bye.